Malaysia's ranking and score in the Global Corruption Perception Index remained unchanged last year, staying at 57th place with a score of 50. How did we arrive here? Transparency International Malaysia's president, Dr. Mohan, provides assessments and immediate measures to address this.
Well, most likely it's stagnant is because the institutional reforms that has been pushed for the last few years, nothing significant has happened. Government has enacted new laws on public and fiscal responsibility, the Act, the Audit Act, and so on. But these were not the kind of what CSOs are actually pushing for. We were talking about institutional reforms in terms of Whistleblower Protection Act amendment, separation of power, and also we talk about the Freedom of Information Bill and so on. So these things did not take place. So that is one factor. But the other factor, if you look at the scores of the individual surveys, the business community still feels that corruption is a major problem in the country. And I think that is the one that I think the special task force under that forms focus groups. I think that's what we should focus on. Communicate with the business people, business community, find out what really they have, what problems they face when they deal with the public sector, especially the civil servants.
To improve institutional reforms, Mohan urged the government to expedite the tabling of certain bill amendments, namely the Whistleblower Protection Act, Freedom of Information Bill, and Parliamentary Services Act. He also suggested for more efforts to improve the ease of doing business in the country.
The other issue which I talked about is the ease of doing business, speed of doing business. The business community, when they apply for approvals and so on, it should not take very long, and things like that. Like in Singapore today, if you are flying into Singapore, they have an app, so you fill it up 3 days before you go. When you arrive, they give you you have a QR code on your phone. You just scan it and the gate opens. You don't have any contact with the immigration officer. So this is a kind of reforms that we do, but also never forget the grand corruption issues. We should, even if there is major corruption within the government, the members of the coalition members, then they should be charged and brought to court and so on. Like what in Singapore, the transport minister was charged and he's in jail now. So that is a kind of thing that you must do, and the public perception will start improving with that.